I am happy to welcome you today to a very special session with Tekla, who I know for many years, I think for my very, very first steps into well-being. And this really hands-on self-reflexology session is an absolutely amazing one, which I hope you all gonna join me enjoying that. And Tekla, I will just leave it with you to introduce your amazing work and lead us through. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Mika. So as Mika said, I'm Tekla Kosha. I'm an autogenic therapist, reflexologist, and yoga instructor as well. Today we will focus on reflexology, starting with our hands, followed by the feet. And we are going to work on reflex areas. I don't know how much you know about reflexology. When we are working on the reflex areas on the hands and the feet, they correspond to organs and organ systems. And by applying some pressure on these, you can stimulate the functions of the organs and balance them out as well. So today we will do some self-reflexology. I know it's not the same as going to a therapist, but maybe we can also learn how to look after ourselves better. So throughout these sessions, Mikhail and 58 are organizing. So for today, you might need a cream or oil. I've got some coconut oil here, but feel free to grab your favorite cream or oil just to make sure that you can slide on the hands and the feet. Maybe you also want to grab an oil towel so there's no stain on the carpet, on your furniture, or anywhere you are sitting. You can make yourself comfortable. And the other thing is that if you put your camera on, maybe I can see you, and maybe I can give you a little bit of recommendation about your pressure, or how you do things. But if you don't feel comfortable switching your camera on, that's absolutely fine too. It's your choice. So let's start with the hands and the arms. Because we are sitting in front of the computer all the time, our shoulders can get really tense and they just walk up and up and down. So I'm going to press the fingertips into the shoulders, and we are going to change the place where we are pushing into the shoulders. You can do it in your own rhythm and time. And if you want to add something, you can also rotate the arm, use your creativity, and do any kind of movement that feels good to you. The main thing about today's session is that we do something that feels good and relaxing. And from the shoulders, you can start to walk down on the outer edge of the upper arm. This might be quite tender, so be gentle to yourself. It shouldn't be a torture. And after the elbow on the forearm, there's a point on the top, might feel again very tender. You can press your thumb into it or use all fingers, do tiny circles, and we are going to work downwards towards the wrist. And then let it go. You might already feel some difference between the two sides. And we'll do the other side as well, again, starting with the shoulders. So you feel how much pressure you can bear. Sometimes it's more, some days it's very little. Play around with it. And again, we are going to go on the outer edge, downwards. And then the top of the forearm, or maybe you want to press your fingers into it, do tiny circles, and then work downwards towards the wrists. Can you feel the difference again? Oh, brilliant. Now we will do some arm stretches next. So maybe you want to grab hold of the palm and extend the arm towards the front. Make sure that the shoulders is relaxed and down. And observe what muscles are stretched in the arm. Now grab hold of the top of the hand and do the same. And now you are going to kind of rotate the palm out and push it outwards. Again, the shoulders should be relaxed. Well done. Nice adjustments. And release. And let's do the other side. Again, we are pushing the palm backward. Maybe you want to embrace a few deep breaths as well. Change the scrubbing, the setting. And then rotate and press it outwards. Now on the hands, the reflex areas are quite overlapping and next to each other. Next, we are going to work on the spine. This is the top of the spine, the mid-spine and the lower back. And you might want to use your thumb. So I'm pressing into the point and then rolling if you choose to work with the thumb. Equally, you can use all fingers and then do tiny circles, or you can even use your knuckles, and again, tiny circles are going to work fine. Maybe you want to draw lines, that's also fine, and then go towards the mid-spine, and then work towards the top of the spine. Well done. And we are going to do the same on the other hand. Excuse me. And then the mid-spine. Either lines or little circles. Be gentle to yourself. I can see a few faces crunching. You don't have to press it very hard. Well done, you can shake it out as well. And now in reflexology, we can also talk about zones. So the first zone is in the middle, and that is what the first finger is representing. And as you walk upwards, you can kind of find the organs going outwards, and the ears would be on the side. Now, and we can also talk about the top, the mid, and the lower part of the body. The next we are going to work on, it's going to be our lungs. So just below the fingers and above the diaphragm line. And again, you can use your thumb and then press it in and roll. If it's too much, simply slide. Use the cream or the oil that you have handy and gently sliding upwards. Or you can slide across as well. And take a few deep breaths as well. That always helps. And you can also work on the diaphragm line, which is this one. And that helps us take a few deep breaths and switch to a parasympathetic dominance, which is responsible for rest and relaxation and recharging. Let's do the same on the other side. First, starting with the lung. And then on the diaphragm line as well, you can work through. Well done. You can shake it out if it feels nice. The next is going to be the top of the hand, which is the lymphatic system. So between the tendons, you can gently press the fingers into the between the tendons and those tiny circles, or work towards the wrist. And you can go through each of them a few times. Or you can spend more time where it feels nice. And do the other side as well. Yeah, feel free to use creams or oils. You can slide more. And the next point is going to be quite tender. You have to be super gentle here. There's a triangle. There's a triangle between the first and the second finger, and at the top of the triangle, you have to go in towards the top. So I'm pressing to this direction. If you are prone to headache, it might be quite tender and painful. Don't press it too hard, but just as much as you can bear. You can also play around to go into the point from a different direction. So from below, and you kind of hook it in. That's a different sensation. Let's do the other side again, the triangle, the top. Make sure that you relax the shoulders as well. Well done. And let's try from the other angle. And now we are going to massage the whole palm. You might want to use your knuckles for this and draw lines sideways or up and down, or you might want to use the fingertips or tap it a little bit. And the same on the other side, either with the knuckles, each direction, or maybe you can also go diagonal. With reflexology, you can use your creativity, that's the best thing. Or maybe you want to tap it if it feels nice. And now there's a little heel just below the first finger. And in the middle, there's the kidney point. It again can be quite tender. You are going to press the finger into it and then just fold the thumb onto it. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And again in and out. And let's do the same. So on the top of the heel, in the center of the heel, you press it in and fold the thumb onto it. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. Shake it out. And then interlace the fingers and press the palms together. And then release. Change the grip. And then press it again together firmly. So you are really tensing your whole palm and shoulders and arms. You notice how much tension is there. And then release. And just observe how these muscles get more and more relaxed and back to normal. So when we are talking about stress management, most people talk about stress without knowing what exactly it means or how it feels in the body. And first we need to know, to learn how it feels to be stressed. When we are tensing our muscles, exactly what happens when we get stressed. Let's continue with the legs. So bear with me, I changed the setting to, so you can see my leg, hopefully. And we'll continue with the session. Whenever we have a break, feel free to use it to take a few deep breaths. So maybe we can start with shaking our calves, like this. I know it feels funny, it looks funny, but it's really good for the calves. And we are going to massage the calves in a way that I'm kind of sliding our thumb outwards, starting from the center, and pulling the calf to the right, to the left, and walking downwards. And you go down all the way to the tendon, and then starting from the root of the knee, again, walk downwards, sliding your thumb to the right, to the left. You might find that the center of the body of the muscle is quite tender if you walk a lot. Well done. Now we are going to flex and point our feet. Feel free to bend the knees here. You don't have to lock the knees. So you can flex the feet and observe what muscles are working here. Then point and flex and point. You can do it in a way that feels nice, or maybe as a cat, like grabbing your toes and extending. Or maybe you want to turn your feet upwards and do the same. Play with it. I know it's quite challenging to coordinate, but it's fun. Or if you used to dance, you are more than well versed in this. And see if something has shifted already. Now release, and now we are gonna grab hold of one foot and bring the fingers in between the toes, and we will first flex and move the toes around, backward and upward, or maybe you can rotate the toes a tiny bit. It's gonna be a very subtle movement. And then you can also turn the ankle around. And the other way around, maybe. And let's do the other side. So again, I'm bringing my feet a little bit upward and putting the fingers in between the toes. And first, you're just moving your toes around. And then maybe circle them. And then draw circles with your ankle backward as well. Next, we are going to work on the spine. So this is the line we are going to work on the inner edge of the foot. Again, this is the top of the spine, the mid spine, and the lower spine. You can choose to, first of all, maybe use some oil or cream, and then either use your fingers and start to press it in a little bit or draw lines. You can also do tiny circles, or you can choose to go from the center and draw a line upward and backward. Or use your knuckles. Basically choose which is easy for you and feels nice. I'm just giving you options and you can choose what works for you here. And go through the spine a few times. You can do it on the other leg as well. You can use some cream. You can take notice of your breath as well. Has it already deepened a little bit? Maybe it slowed down a tiny bit. And this time we are gonna just hold 2 points. The ball of the foot is here, and you're just gonna hold the bottom and the top. And take a nice deep breath in, and then hold it in, and let it out, and hold it again there. In, hold, out, hold, and repeat it a few times in your own rhythm. And you can continue with this breath or just go back to your natural breathing rhythm. And we will continue with the thyroid, which is just underneath the big toe. Again, I'm using my thumb, pressing it in and rolling. And working through that reflex area, or using your knuckles and drawing tiny lines there. You can do the side of the big toe as well, which might be quite tender because it's around the neck. And we tend to be quite stiff around the neck. Feel free to support the fingers or the whole foot with the other hand. It's always good. You can do the other side again. So pressing the finger in and then rolling. Hopefully you can see this side as well. I'm just working on the reflex area under my thumb. Sorry, my big toe. And maybe the side as well. So the thyroid is responsible for metabolism, and most people have got some problems with it, unfortunately. Let's work on the lung next, which is this part of the foot. Again, you have got choices here. So between the little bones, there is a kind of way or little valley that you can feel, and you can just pull them apart, walking your finger to the right and to the left and upward in the same time between the tiny bones. You might also want to slide your knuckles to the right and to the left while you are supporting with the other hand, if it feels nice. Or you can do both sides, the top and the bottom as well. Let's do the other side again. So I'm walking upward in between the tiny bones. Or sliding to the side with the knuckles. And now next we are going to find a point in between the tendons here. We are going to slide upward, 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 upward. And where the two tendons meet is a tender point. You might feel it. And we are going to hold it there for a few seconds. And then next, let's work on the small and the large intestine, which is responsible for absorbing nutrients and selecting what the body needs and making sure that we don't store what we don't need. So we are going to work on the bottom part of the foot. So the small intestine is all around here in the center. The large intestines, obviously, there's an ascending, a transverse, and a descending. I have got my left foot, and here we have got the transverse, and then the descending, and the end of the digestive tract. You can walk across and then downwards, or you can slide the knuckles up and down, sideways, whatever grab you have available for you. Or maybe you can even do circles. And now we are going to do the other side. So on the right leg, I will have the transverse again, and this is the ascending. So it starts from this kind of halfway between the midpoint of the foot and the heel. So I can work upwards here. And then on the transverse as well, maybe you want to use your fingers. And then you can also work with the knuckles and again work through. This part is quite challenging to massage on yourself. Obviously, when I'm treating someone, I use many different techniques that I need both hands for, so it's quite limited what we can do here. But still, it's good to massage this part. So after the digestion, we're going to work on the mid part of the foot. So most organs are in pairs and represented on both legs. Some of them are not in pairs, like the pancreas, but it's towards the center, so it is represented on the left and the right foot as well. But let's say the stomach and the spleen is only on the left foot, and the liver and the gallbladder is only on the right foot. I have got my left foot in my hand, and I'm going to work on the stomach, which is this part. With the fingers, be gentle here, because it's quite a soft part of the foot. You might also feel the different textures. And then we can also work on the pancreas, which is this part here. Sliding our fingers slightly upwards. And then the spleen is here. Maybe you want to slide your knuckles towards the edge or the blade of the foot. Or you want to massage with the knuckles, draw tiny circles, or maybe big circles and bigger movements. Just observe what feels nice, or maybe figure eights works on your feet as well. And then we are going to twist the foot, so one hand is holding, another one is rotating towards the front, and the other hand is rotating towards the back. Twisting, 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 twisting. Let's do the other leg. Again, where the stomach was on the other hand, or other leg, we are going to have the liver, which is for detoxing. You have got a very tiny part of the pancreas here, so you don't have to go that deep towards the center of the foot. And the gallbladder is just below the fourth toe and in the center. So from the fourth toe, you are drawing a line down, and if you measure your foot from the heel to the root of the toe, halfway through is your gallbladder. And you can just hold it. If you've eaten a lot of chocolate, it's going to be tender, or anything very oily and heavy. And again, feel free to do lines, circles, figure eight on the mid part of the foot. And we are going to twist this part as well, this side as well. So the right hand is holding, the left is twisting forward. And now have both feet available, and we are going to just hold one point, which is the root of the big toe and towards the inner side. You don't have to press into this point, but you just want to hold it here. And do the other leg as well, or foot as well. And hold it here a few seconds. Take a few nice deep breaths here. If it feels good to you, maybe you want to close your eyes a little bit and check in how you feel right now, right here after this short self-reflexology session. And you can let go the point and still just observe if anything shifted for you. Maybe it's just a sense of calm or contentment. Maybe the body feels a little bit lighter. Maybe you are just a bit more present right now. So thank you so much for participating and doing these tiny movements with me. I know, again, it's not the same as if you were at a reflexology session. I've just got an email from my professional body that unfortunately we are not going to be able to start on the 4th of July. But if you have got any questions or any comments or any recommendations, feel free to email me. This is my email address. I'm more than happy to respond to inquiries and questions.
Okay, so we have people who are saying thank you and they had to leave, but you have, of course, the email. If anyone wants to unmute and have questions that you want to ask Tekla and have the discussions, please feel free. Don't be shy in doing so. Thank you so much, Tekla. Another really, really amazing session. I'm sure everybody are feeling so relaxed now. And it's always fascinating how many points are connecting to our inner parts and how much healing it can be in one amazing session. As I said, I met Tekla many years ago, and I can definitely say from experience, it's wonderful to do the self-care, and this is as much as we can do now when the professional bodies are not yet allowing beauty therapists and hands-on therapists to see clients. But we'll be looking forward to welcome you back to 58 when it's safe for you to do so, and all of you as well. Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.